To get going here, and I think that means it is time to head over to the war room.
Hello. Yes, welcome to the war room of hell with myself, ODPixel, and we're going to be joined by Scriff for today.
I'm sorry. It's the leg from last week's leg.
The entrance to hell is a little rough, you know. Just be careful on your way.
We got some.
We got a Spirit Breaker first pick from Elements. Oh, what do we think about that? Eh?
I'm not feeling too good about that.
It should be over here.
I know Fog's homesick. If he were here, he would tell you what a horrible hero Spear Breaker is.
Shadow Shaman.
Shadow Shaman's a pretty nice answer to that.
Oh, you got Shaman?
Insta-lock,
I got
stun.
Spirit Breaker. Let's see.
Good stuff.
Elements is on Dire, so there this VP's on Radiant.
He's roaming.
And that'll be down. Yep.
And it looks like, is that Magnus Bane? First bans here from VP?
Oh, that is a Magnus Bane opening in bans, yep. And Earthshaker. Oh, there's a quick draft. Where's the Shaker?
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
What do you guys think, Sprax?
I'm curious about the roster first pick. Is he really first pick material now?
First two VP, Shadow Shaman, Earthshaker?
I mean,
how normal is this?
What's up, buddy?
I was saying, how normal is this? You have the first pick, Spirit Breaker, into
Did you get Shadow Shaman?
Shadow Shaman and Shaker?
Yeah, you're fine.
I mean, Shadow Shaman's a pretty nice answer against Spirit Breaker. Insta Hex for when he's charging somebody that you can catch him out on.
That's
then
true.
A lot of utility pushing and kind of keeping back the Darkseer as well. So I don't think it's that bad.
Did you say he got buffed base damage?
Oh yeah, he got even more base damage, I believe.
+6.
He's the biggest one in the game or something?
He
or
has
third
the
biggest?
third highest in the game, and I think the highest of range heroes, I want to say.
Probably.
I think
74,
Treant's the
right?
highest overall.
Yeah, I think it's like Treant. I know Chaos Knight's also up there very high, and then Sven's also in the top 5 or 6. But yeah, he's definitely third overall. I think it's 74 base damage he goes into lane.
He hit the gym.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Hitting the gym. That little man.
Almost makes up for having like 280 base movement speed.
Yeah,
or
almost.
285, something like that.
Almost makes up for being a horrible hero.
What the hell,
You guys think he's actually that bad? I want to see him played mid, like in Han. Polywog Priest.
Oh yeah.
Polywog Priest.
I was actually talking.
Isn't that a Pokemon?
No.
Priest.
The Polywog Priest. It's either a Pokemon or a racist term. I mean, it's a weird name.
No,
we don't have that in Dota.
He's Shadow Shaman's distant inbred relative, I think is really what it comes down to.
Oh my.
But do you think it's viable, though? Brax, I was talking to Suns fan about this, and he agrees. He really wants to see this, and I just don't think it's viable.
I really want to see it, but I think it's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His lane matchups are pretty bad for the most part.
He's just too easy to rotate on. You know, his low movement speed has no getaways. Spirit Breaker charges him once. I mean, unless you have vision and you can hex
Hey, he's got
immediately.
an instant hex, you know.
Yeah,
What else do you need? Someone's running it. Yep, turn him into a chicken or whatever his one is.
Yeah.
He can turn him into a sheep, can't he? With one of the items. A sheep that...
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't you see the Leaf Eater YouTube? The jungle Shadow
Shaman?
5 minutes.
Ah. You
level
get,
5
what
or
is it,
something.
Ether Shock and Clarity, and you just sit in between those 3 camps on Radiant side, chop down the trees, stack them, spam them.
Approved.
Okay.
You
like
get level 4, 4.5 minutes. Yeah. Don't do it.
Only level 4?
I think it's only, only level
Venom
you get
gets
level
like
4.
5.
It's not quick. It's not good.
No.
Brax is shaking his head in disbelief that somebody actually wasted their time trying that.
I mean, Shadow Shaman is just like classic super lockdown, right? I mean, he's just really good, but he thrives on teams that don't have good coordination.
Yes.
Because he's put the snake under the tower, he's grabbing one of your people, he's turning somebody else into something, and that's why he's not that great in pro play, because those teams typically have a lot of coordination. They know, okay, let's kill people now let's take the snakes. So, pretty interesting pickup here. We haven't talked at all about Earthshaker.
No. And are we thinking it's a core possibly?
I hope so.
I hope so, but we put it on the safe lane to be safe. I think it's more likely to be a not position 3.
But he has the new True Strike, right, with the Enchant Totem.
Yeah.
That is correct.
So,
that's kind of good. I mean,
but
that's
you
not
wouldn't pick
that
him
amazing,
first 2 as a core, I think, for that.
Yeah, that change sounded pretty gimmicky to me. How often is it, oh, Earthshaker in the clutch with the True Strike?
And that just got that.
Okay, I kind of like this
PA,
now.
right?
People are picking up Earthshaker a lot lately just for the massive amount of early game bursts that you can do along with the Shadow Shaman. So you max the Q in Shadow Shaman, you get that burst from Earthshaker, and now you got a Venge to capitalize on that. I would definitely bet that's going to be a carry Venge.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to try lane it and just dominate their early
Safe
game.
lane,
Maybe they go
position
aggressive
1.
with it.
They could go aggressive with that trialing.
That is a nasty aggro try.
But it's also a trialing that can deal with a Darkseer, I feel. Like, it's like whatever. They can try and, bully the Darkseer out the lane quite easily and quite early. And
well, glad we talked about it now, boys. That's
Hell yeah. Did you guys know that he has flying vision, no miss? Kind of like how Batrider flies? Think
just
about
like
it.
Batrider Firefly. It's a great example.
Think about it, guys. Great example.
So, all right, Brax, talk to us about Visage, though. I mean, we were joking that this hero's terrible, but obviously it has some merit. What does he bring to the table?
He's definitely not terrible. He has a lot of damage for a support hero, and he can farm a lot. His talents are pretty good. He has like a 90 gold per minute talent level 10. And he's one of those supports that kind of scale well into the game. He goes for like that Solar Crest, Aghanims, AC kind of build up, and plays like the AUI style, where he's on the side lanes, farms it up a lot.
You think the Solar Crest change will impact the item build on Visage, moving from now it's no longer 25% mischance, but 25% true strike when your team attacks them? It's kind of a strange change that seems like the numbers aren't in its favor.
Yeah, I would say so. I don't think I think Solar Crest is on its way out.
But is that enough to dissuade Visage from picking it? Even just a medallion on Visage can get a lot done in the early game.
That's true.
I don't feel like there's anything better to build on him. Maybe you'd go for Atos instead or something, but...
Another item that got a tweak, easier build up.
The
I think it's still pretty good.
All right,
Just the minus 10 armor.
You already have the Darkseer mech carry, right? So you don't need to grab that on Visage or anything.
So what's going on here? One of these three Shaker Venge Shamans got to be a core. Is it the mid Shaman, a VP China?
Priest.
No.
Are we putting the Shaman in the mid?
It's not Polyworld
I'm
Priest.
going to put the Shaman in the mid. I'm going to put him in the mid. I'm putting him in the mid.
No.
We're doing it.
Get him out of the mid.
I want to say something that might be dumb,
right.
but off-lane Morphling. Is that crazy right now? Any possibility?
I mean, what kind of lockdown do they have on it?
Well, what about Lil? Support Morphling. Roaming Morphling. He's done it with Weaver. 7.06. He's bringing it in with the Morph.
See, but that made
Max
sense
out
with
the strength. Go with the
Wait,
4-second stun.
What if I say mid-morph?
Mid-morph? My goodness.
Mid-morph.
Griff, you are crazy.
What's wrong with you guys? Just put all the heroes.
No?
Put them all mid.
You don't agree this over this?
Well, I mean, I would actually rather have the Shaman mid than a Morph.
Yeah, I think I would too.
Roaming morph? No.
Roaming jungle morph.
In this situation, isn't it really hard for Morphling mid against the Spirit Breaker? Can't he just kind of pick on him and just keep chain charging to zone him out?
I mean...
Yeah, it's pretty bad against the TA, especially.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, I guess most likely it's going to be an off-lane Shaker. That's the most normal thing that could be here.
Yep.
I think we'll go with normal. Yeah, we'll put Shaker in the off-lane. We'll put Shaman back down here with the Venge supporting the Morphling. I think that's the most sensible thing.
And now VPC the mid matchup as well with the TA, right? So you get the counter picks, I guess.
I guess it's possible. Maybe they were thinking mid-morph and they saw the TA and now they're going, well, maybe we should switch this up, guys.
That's kind of how, that's why I like VP, You never really know what their heroes are going to do. You got Lil on his Weaver, supposed to be going fourth, and then if the game's not looking good, it becomes like position 1. They're a very fluid team, so I like this so far. It's very hard to predict what they're going to do. Elements is very cut and dry. You know exactly what that team's going to do with every single one of their people, so... Yeah, so far it's interesting. I like it.
This Elements draft has an interesting bit of lockdown. You've got stuns from Spirit Breaker, you've got the stun from the birds, but not the most reliable stuns, and then Darkseer, Vac Wall, not exactly a lockdown. I feel like they need something to just hold them in place.
Well, you do have the Spirit Breaker level 25, the 30% bash chance.
Well, I mean, that's all you need.
That will keep you in. When that level 25... Trust me, once he gets there, you're going to win. You're going to win, Brad.
What's interesting to me is that...
Not even a word, buddy?
No.
Come on.
What's interesting to me is that Sven is either banned or picked, right?
Sven is
Yeah, interesting.
I mean, he would probably be pretty good with Elements, Darkseer,
I like it.
He would be good with Elements.
Sven stun, all that jazz.
That'd be great. Much needed
old EG
lockdown.
stuff.
I'm with it. Also, just putting him with the Darkseer, giving him Surge to close the gap, start off the fights.
Oh my God, you know who we didn't talk about?
Oh.
Not him, Slark boring. Jakiro! That is the new hero,
He
dude.
can pierce BKB now, right? With a macro pyre. That's something.
Dual breath, super hype, level 25.
Oh yeah, Dendi went. Was it Dendi? Somebody did a mid Jakiro, right?
Yeah, it was Dendi.
Yeah,
that was
TNC,
pre-patch.
TNC played it now in Star Series.
Yeah, they did it a few times today,
Like all their games,
they were spamming
Like 3 or 4 games.
Some proof of
Jakiro
concept.
is hype, all right? Tower Melter.
how far we've come.
Is the immunity thing, or the piercing spell immunity, is that 25?
That is 25.
Yeah, it's 25, yeah.
And it's just macro pyre,
which isn't that hard. He does
that never happens.
No, he has an XP
well,
talent.
if it's core, if it's a solo mid, is it the XP talent at level 10 or 15?
I believe it's early, and I think it's like 20% or
I think he has a pretty decent XP one.
Okay.
Could happen. Just get that Midas.
Jakiro last pick.
Oh, they take the mid.
All right.
Still.
Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense here.
So it seems like offlane Earthshaker.
There he is.
Ramses picks up the Morphling, so there you go.
Afterlife. Oh no, wait, no, it's Pasha playing the Shaker, so it's looking like either an offlane Venger or an offlane Shark. It could be an off. It's going to be an.
What?
Wait, no, what am I on about? What am I on about? I'm thinking of Empire, lol. Yeah, no, it's right. You're right. You're bang on, guys. You're bang on. Ignore me. Yeah, ignore me.
Okay, boys, quickly, we need some predictions here from the panel. Slacks, who's taking game 1?
I want to go for Elements, of course. I love the underdogs, as you guys know, but I feel like VP's draft is super cool and super unique, so gotta go for them on this one. Elements, impress me next time.
Brax?
I'm definitely gonna have to go with VP. I think they actually probably have like the best players in each position from the CIS region. I think they're super strong.
Okay. I'd love to be the contrarian, but I'm going to fall right into line. Virtus.Pro.
Caster's Curse! Come on, EPG! Let's go!
Let's see what they do. And with that said, folks, we've got a game ready to rock and roll. Game 1 of this 2-game series coming up now.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Casting Panel. I'm Odie Pixar. I'll be joined by the wonderful Brax from NA today, as we'll be taking you through some potentially exciting games, or potentially rather one-sided. We'll see if Elements can step it up today. They've had some tough times here at the Dream League already, and it could get tougher. They're against VP, as you stated, some of the strongest players in the CIS region, and to be fair, some of the strongest players in the world. VP are good, aren't they, Brax?
Yeah, VP are definitely looking extremely good right now.
And with the drafts complete, you know, you had time to look over. You said VP. I mean, is that just because they're VP, or do you actually think that what they've got going for them in terms of a draft is just a bit better rounded than Elements?
I think when you look at their draft, you kind of go like, that's kind of got their VP style. You know, they got their offlane Shaker, Visage bringing out. Doesn't look too bad.
Oh, well, actually see Elements get a bit of a fortune here, as they'll be able to walk themselves into first blood and manage to get it going the way of Swift Ending. The rest of VP coming across just a little too late, as Pasha was caught alone. So that's always got to be nice, especially when you're playing the position 1. You're loving life if you get yourself first blood.
I'd like to change my prediction right about now.
Yeah. Elements for the win. We'll see. And we'll see what kind of lanes they go for now, if indeed VP want to do anything in terms of aggressive laning, but it looks like we are. Yeah, we're not going to see that. We are going to see both teams just stick to the safe lane. I mean, do you imagine we'll see a certain team have a better time in this laning stage?
Oh Jesus! I thought that was. I was like, oh my God, it's coming from the game. No, I think Darkseer has a pretty good lane setup here.
Okay.
And I'm kind of surprised that Spirit Breaker isn't laning with him, but he decided to kind of sit mid right now. He's got the Orb of Venom, but look, Darkseer, he can just cut the wave. Yeah. They can't really do anything about it right now, so.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a little just throw out a magic missile, and that was it for the moment. It's mid lane, certainly going to be very chaotic. Ping Vinsec backed up by Gogi. No one having the help of Solo. And, I mean, do you expect to see this mid lane end up pretty one-sided, or is it going to be close between these two?
It'll probably be pretty close. It's slightly TA favored, but it's a lane where if the Storm is skilled enough, he can do very, very well. And of course, he can just dip out into the jungle anyways. The lane is extremely hard, but this dual lane actually makes it pretty hard for TA because she kind of relies on the refraction charges, and Shadow Shaman, of course, gives him the
Shackle's super good, isn't he, against that? You're right, yeah. Really ticks through it very quickly. So that's going to be a little bit of worry. Already low on mana though, Solo. He's already gone in with the first 2 early Shackles. So in fact, they're going to try to abuse that. They'll just go with the charge. And here with a refraction moving in, Solo will put the Fairy of Fire. Does keep him alive. But I mean, Solo playing on the edge of his life there. He's probably got to head back now. He's sticking around. I mean, he's playing a bit crazy, isn't he, on this Shaman?
Yeah, mid lane looks so weird now. There's so many creeps.
I mean, that's true, actually. And I mean, so what's he doing, bro? I mean, he's got another Fairy Fire. He trusts it, and he's actually going to live again solo. I mean, he's playing around on the most minuscule of HP, and at the moment, it's paying off. It's got to be pretty triggering, I imagine, if you're Elements, because like, we've got this kill, and twice they haven't got this kill.
The luck was not on their side, man. No bash.
My goodness. And with that, both team supports will take the long, lonely route back to base after having traded. And in terms of CS, it's ended up pretty close between the Storm and the TA, so not really taking a huge lead. The other lanes at the moment, what we got? Well, Slark, Swift Ending, doing fine in CS, and the same can be said certainly for Bramses down here on the bottom. But it's, as you mentioned, the fact that Mitch is still finding a place down there, not feeling too worried at all. We're actually going to see a rotation from the Vengeance towards the mid lane.
You know, Slacks was right. Mitch is the man. He's off to a great start right now in his lane. Looks like they can't touch him at all.
Let's see if they get this hit. I mean, this is going to be a lot of patience from Lil. Maybe even watching out for a courier snap as well. But he's keeping himself well hidden in those trees behind Ping. This is... I mean, what is he? Is he waiting for a courier, or is he just looking to set up on mid?
I think he's looking to set up, but of course, courier is always nice if you can get it. It's a pretty good time right now to gank mid, too. He's got no mana. Solo's just manning up on him, kind of taunting him right now, too. He just can't do anything about it.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, Ping's having to play very careful. Bottom lane, Ramses was gone upon here by Gogi and Mitch. Falls low, but now looking for the turnaround. Lil already thrown out the magic missile. Oh, in fact, Gogi comes back with the bash, keeping Ramses down low. Does have a lot of mana to play with. Salves there ready as well, so we'll be able to top himself back up.
That's where the lane starts to get really hard, right? Once the Spirit Breaker starts to rotate in, Morphling's got no mana, no HP. Just has to tank these Ion Shells all day long. It's not a good feeling.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Elements, who are you more scared about having the better early game? Is it the Storm you want to put more focus on, or do you really need to start looking at this Morphling?
I feel like they probably have a nice TP out there. He's going to live.
Smart man.
They kind of can't deal with everything at once, so they kind of got to pick and choose where they want to pressure. And it feels like it's pretty difficult for them to pressure mid lane because Solo started there with the Shadow Shaman.
Yeah. Kind
of burned all of TA's mana up, no shrines until 5 minutes, so he's kind of just sitting there trying to farm. But it's really easy to pressure that Darkseer lane. He's like their strongest hero in the early game, so any rotations to him are very, very easy to make.
All right, we actually go Solo, as you mentioned, rotating down towards the bottom. Goes on to Gogi. Is he going to have enough burst, though, to bring down the space cow as Gogi walks it off? But as we just saw already, that mid lane going pretty much as you said, you know, if the Storm Spirit has that sort of superior technical skill, he's going to have a good time. And of course, as we mentioned, with the support backup and the way they're able to zone Ping out, it's looking pretty hot for no one. 27 for 10 against the 17 for 7. There will be a charge coming across as Gogi's looking to make a go, but Solo is there. It's with the shackles, and I mean, we are seeing something here. I don't think I've seen this before, just this pick of the shaman, putting him in, and shackles, as you mentioned, it just destroys the TA.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's interesting to see. Like, with no shrines, too, TA's just sitting there mid lane with no mana almost the entire time. I feel like that's really swinging the mid lane nowadays, huh?
That is, yeah, it's making life very hard for Ping. Yeah, this shaman pick, certainly doing the work here in the middle, making sure no one has a very good time. Looking at the comparison between the carries, though, both Swift Ending and Ramses still moving along nicely. Swift Ending actually slightly ahead, and of course is going to be happy with that. That first blood, he got a little bit annoyed that he didn't get that kill onto Pasha that we saw with that very clutch TP out from the Shaker.
Yeah, it would have been great for him to pick up that kill, but in the end, you know, he still has total lane control. No big deal. He's just having a good time. Oh, Jesus. Airplanes everywhere.
The noises. I think that was because of a missed CS, or I'm not sure. No, actually, no, wait, they were denying creeps. They didn't miss that.
I think he stole his deny.
Oh, did he steal his deny?
They both took one.
There we go. Something that doesn't matter, but you know, you'll pick anything to flame your teammates.
That's the new tilting play right there. Steal and carries denies.
There we go.
So, Storm is off to a pretty fantastic start here. Total free farm, highest CS in the game. Pretty much nobody can touch him right now, right? It's going to be pretty difficult for Elements.Pro Gaming to deal with them when they pretty much only have Spirit Breaker charge to start the fight on them.
Yeah, that's exactly what you guys were saying on the panel, that there just is that lack of lockdown. Unless you see some really clutch plays, well, I mean, even with the birds, it's very hard to catch a Storm unless you manage to get him in a position out of mana, but you know, no one being no one, he's a bit of a smart kid. Very unlikely to get himself in a position where he's not going to have the mana to at least traverse around the stuns that EPG will be flying in.
Yep, and we can see Ping pretty much just moving to the jungle now. He wants none of that in the mid lane. He dies to almost any rotation right now.
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering, for Ping, if they actually... Is that, I believe, a sentry from the VP side blocking one of the ancient camps, isn't it? Is that blocking it? Yeah. That is, so already, you know, knowing that there potentially could be this fallback. I don't think we've actually seen Elements try and stack the Ancients, but that certainly can be a mechanic with the new change every minute that could really buff up a TA after a poor mid performance at the start. But so far in this game, it's not going to be there for Ping to fall back on.
Yeah, and he's definitely going to need it at this rate right now. Storm is miles ahead of everyone in this game right now. But, you know, for Virtus.Pro Gaming, Slark is also very hard to deal with. Good at killing heroes like that Shaman, Vengeful Spirit, even the Shaker. All these heroes are very susceptible to him. And he also has the Visage Birds and Spirit Breaker to kind of follow up on these ganks that he finds.
Right, what do you think about that, actually? The you know, the Venge pick, because it feels like very rarely we see that back in the support role. You know, when we have seen it picked up, it's been in a position 1. Is it still a very viable hero in support?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's the hero is really powerful, right? But the traditional problems with the hero is lane phase is not great, right? You've got like 2 stuns maximum, and she's short range, so he doesn't have the best time fighting these offlane heroes. But now the safe lane is a bit more safe, you know? So you can kind of get away with putting it in the support position, and it's also one of those heroes that can also take some farm in transition. So I like it a lot.
It's going to be very, very nice for the pushers when they come out as well. And they do sort of need that, you know, having a Storm. Shaker, they're not going to be able to do too much to the tower, but the combination of the Morph and the Venge and the Shaman wards is going to be pretty big. EPG themselves, in terms of tower hitting, I mean, I guess if you get a good fight with the Slark, you're good to go with the shift stacks. You have got the Visage Birds eventually, and you're hoping that your TA does get this Deso in good time. But, of course, still a long way away from that. Mid lane, looking to have a bit of a go, but it's hard to do so. Solo turns around with a quick Hex, and nothing more can be done. As Solo sitting there at the moment, loving life and soaking up the experience.
Yeah, until that Shadow Blade comes out, that's their ganking power right there.
It really is. And well, talking about a Shadow Blade coming out, he's getting the money for it, certainly. Swift Ending does find himself an opening to get in on Pasha with the Shadow Dance, and this time, no chance to TP out. So that Slark is certainly going to be hitting a good time with the Shadow Blade. And that certainly seems to be, as you say, the thing that could start to really get the momentum going for Elements.
They've got a lot of things to kind of help enable them, right? They've got the Darkseer Ion Shell. Visage might pick up a medallion eventually with the help of the birds to kind of lock down these targets and kill them quickly. So it's going to be... the game really depends on his first move. You know, if he can get a whole lot done with his rotations early on in the game, it could help put them in a pretty good position to kind of snowball a bit.
So you can see Visage just TP across into the middle lane. Go for the charge forward. Solo is there, looking to hold them off. And they'll be able to continue to put pressure on, and this is pretty big. I mean, what, mid lane where you've got a Storm and you're on the verge of taking the tier 1 in 10 minutes. EPG are going to do their best to try and hold on through it. They'll go for another strike onto Solo. Does manage to get the Hex out, though, in time onto Mitch, but with the charge onto No One, holding him back, he'll still look to commit. But in fact, this might cost No One his life. Can he get the kill? He can. And in fact, with the bottle charge, is he going to be able to get out the Soul Assumption? No! The last right click comes in. And at the end of the day, not really worth a tool there for the Storm, as Elements get a double kill on the Spirit Breaker. And get the tower deny as well. Very nice.
Yeah, VP was definitely hoping for a little bit of a, you know, some more luck there. He missed the Remnant on the roll there, which would have finished off the Darkseer without him having to hit him. But in the end, it's still a tower. You know, at 10 minutes in.
It's off the map, at least, yeah.
Yeah.
And what we got? Swift Ending, Shadow Amulet, 600 gold towards the broadsword. So himself still making very good time, and actually, yeah, with the kills we see, actually a bit of a sizable jump ahead of Ramses, who's also been having pretty much free farm, but just the involvement in those kills. Good amount of experience as well. What, level 9 at 10 minutes in? That's... can we have a look at the levels? Is that feel? Oh no, okay, it's on par with the other 3. Just got the TA and actually the offlane Shaker doing a little bit better than the Darkseer at the moment. But yeah, apologies, we do just have this short pause. But at the moment, I mean, this is something that we saw in some of the other Elements games, and they do have pretty good laning stages. This is not terrible for Elements.
No, they're actually doing very well. If we look at the net worth right now, it's actually 270 gold in their favor after losing a tower.
And
that's not bad at all. They're doing very well.
Wow. And as you said, you feel the Shadow Blade on the Slark. I mean, VP, they can prepare for this, right? Or do you think it's pretty hard to with their heroes? Like they are on. There's a high risk that they do lose casualties to Shadow Blade as well.
There are definitely going to be casualties.
Someone's going to get picked off.
Yeah. Feel bad for Solo right now in his level 4 Shaman. 10 minutes in the game. Not
I guess that's the easiest target, isn't it? Definitely at this stage. You find him, you're good to go. He's got good ways to team up. You know, he's not going to have to go for these kills on his own, is he? They're going to be able to charge in,
Yeah.
Buff him up with an Iron Shell, make it easier for him to find these pickoff. It's a lot of it's down to Swift Ending's play, and Swift Ending, of course, Slark is his hero. That's probably his best hero. So they're going to be feeling pretty comfortable in his hands. And certainly has all the start that he needs for it. We're seeing what Pasha, 900 towards the Blink Dagger, so starting to make the progress, as we mentioned already, having very good levels on the hero. And is that usual on Offlane Shaker to put more points in the Totem than the Fissure?
Usually people don't max the Fissure. They put points in the Aftershock, so they can farm more.
Yeah. Okay, so this is, okay, to speed up the farm.
Yeah. Because he doesn't really want to sit behind people that cast Fissure. He just wants to kind of farm as much as he wants.
I want to see a little bit of a go here onto Mitch, actually. Bringing him down low. Gogi will be there to cover. In fact, in comes Visage with the burst. They've got the chainstone off the morphing, and Ramses is gone. Oh, we talked about like a lockdown, but when they throw everything at him like that, they'll get it. That's a very good rotation for Elements. They might be able to put some pressure on the tower as well.
Yeah, this does not look like something that Ramses wants to TP back into here.
That pressure coming in. The birds are out. Instant fortification from VP.
We see EPG already pinging out their safe lane tower. They know that Morphling, he wants no business down here at all. He's probably not going to come back, so they might want to look to set something up there preemptively, just so they can catch him off guard.
Let's see where it's... boy, actually is going to come back into this, but you're right. This is a bit of a risky territory. And get one of the illusions out, they'll try and remove it instantly so he doesn't have something to head back to. And it looks like he will be able to hold the lane, but to certainly have to still be careful, and especially with the TP back into the lane from the Darks here. So again, Elements with 3 heroes down there on the bottom. We're seeing what Ping in the middle, starting to pick the farm back up. Still 1,000 difference between himself and no one on the net worth. And VP, they're looking to go for a smoke, and they're looking to try and enable a fight for Ramses by the looks of it on the bottom lane.
Yeah, they definitely don't want to give this up, especially with Morphling TPing back in there. They're hoping to catch out any stragglers here.
Let's see what they can do. They don't have a swap yet, of course, on Lil. Well, they've got the Wave of Terror. No one. Zipping up the high ground to get the vision. They'll drop the wards for this one. And making sure that they do get themselves a kill, but certainly a costly one. Wards are down, so it may limit the pushing potential for VP. Dropping them outside of a tower range.
Yep, our Stark already got a Shadow Blade. Okay, so very fast, actually.
Yeah, that 12.5 minutes. He is going to be over the moon with that. Does reveal it, of course, in lane, though, sitting around there, so VP should be aware that he has it, which could make it a little harder for him to get a successful rotation. And actually slightly interested in the Iron Build he's queued up. Not something that we always see on Slarks, but at the moment he's going for the Shadow Blade into SNY. Did SNY get another buff this patch?
It got a little bit cheaper.
A little bit cheaper.
Yasha also lost some attack speed on it.
Okay. So a bit of an even trade-off mid lane. In with the charge, and Lil, he's going to be out and down if one more touch comes through, and it can. Gogi gets a bit of extra range there somehow, and does manage to finish off the kill.
Yeah, bringing out the Monkey King attack there, huh?
Oh, it really was. He kind of reached across the tower with his big old lantern. Charge on Pasha. I mean, if they could kill him, it would be lovely, but he is playing it safe under the tower. Very close to having that Blink Dagger.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, right? Usually we see Slark get the Shadow Blade, he kind of wants to run around, but...
I mean, that's the thing there, yeah.
But Swift Ending kind of prioritizing his farm here a bit more, but it's also not bad, right? Because every time he dips out into the jungle, maybe VP are giving it a second thought, maybe, oh, he could be down here.
That's true.
Perhaps they're playing a bit safe. And it also is very dangerous for the Shaker to kind of leave his tower, because he can really die to any sort of charge, Slark Shadow Blade gank. So
you think, yeah, you're saying it could be for the mind games.
Yeah,
You want them to see you have it, and you want them to be scared, but
you're
not necessarily going to be making the plays. I mean, it's understandable as well. We did say, obviously, they're heroes like Solo that you can kill, but VP being the team that they are, it's going to be hard for you to get back out after getting the kill. You know, at this stage, if you've only got a Shadow Blade. VP, with their reactions, are going to be super quick. And looks like we've actually got big Carlet here. Have you got that one? Is that coming on yours as well? No, yeah, it is. Oh dear, have we lost internet?
Oh, all right, we're going to pause here.
No, okay. It's lag for everyone. Go.
Well played already.
Well, I mean, it says still that we've got a connection problem, isn't it?
It does.
Oh, this is a Dota 2 thing. Come on, Valve.
Are we good?
Apparently so, but Valve thinks not. We are continually stuck with a connection problem. And timeout in 17. It's not ticking down, so I can only imagine. Oh, there we go. It's gone. It realizes. It's like, hang on, there is no connection problem. Don't be silly again.
So pretty much ever since Slark picked up the Shadow Blade, Solo's just been sitting down in the bottom lane. He has observers, sentries on him. They actually scout him out and ping him right now, so they know exactly what he's doing. Pretty much once he picked it up, he's just been playing safe.
Yeah.
Using the buddy system, warding up, making sure he doesn't feed the Slark. It's real good.
Yeah, and it feels like he does need to find something with that Shadow Blade, because Ramses, he's picked up the Midas. So in terms of, you know, the time that Swift Ending's going to be moving around looking for kills, Ramses is going to be moving around Midas in the creeps. So we can certainly expect to see Ramses catch up to the Slark if Slark doesn't find kills, but still, yeah, 7k at the top, on par with no one. And Ping Vinsec, considering he had a bad start in the lane, he's actually catching up pretty well with the stacks. And we're seeing the power of the 1 minute spawn again, as he's only about 500 behind the Storm Spirit now, which isn't bad at all.
No, not bad at all. Yeah. He was like 1,500 gold behind when Storm had like 4k net worth, which is ridiculous, right? That's almost 50%. Yeah. And now he's right back in the game pretty much.
Bottom lane, set up here, Pasha jumping in to follow through with a quick slap from the totem. Ramses picks up the kill as he waveforms forward. And VP will be able to punish LeBron. It was rather deep. Yeah, I'm going to see actually a sweep around as well for Swift Ending. But again, he kind of comes across, and then it's so hard. There's observers, there's sentries, they see his movements. Mid lane, no one looking to commit in onto Ping Vincheck, unable to cut through the refraction charges. So still, with a quick blink back, he'll play it safe. And nearly has enough money for that first before hammer. Interesting strat deployed it by Solo.
Yes,
so they stack the Ancients and he farms them with the Serpent Wards. Oh,
all right, there we go. It's the air ball.
And yeah, that's going to be the turnaround air ball. And in fact, with those bashes bringing him up to the high ground and then the charge, they've got him. Oh my goodness, Element.
Scratching your head at that one. That's the tilter right there.
I gotta say, at the moment, it feels like Elements are playing. I mean, is this value the Serpent Ward Ancient farm?
Solo's happy, that's for sure.
I mean, Solo's happy. I mean, he's still at the bottom of the net worth.
Well, that's how you leave the bottom of the net worth, right?
It's certainly a good attempt to.
But man, that's Roshan for Elements.Pro Gaming here. Well, maybe not. They are up, but it looks like to have no chance of really trying to fight this right now. And this is without the TA Desolator as well.
Yeah, they're making pretty good time on this. We are going to see some of VP head over. We'll see if they want to have a look in. No one certainly could go for a big zip play if he wants to. He's coming across. He is scouting out with the Remnant.
And EPG are going to back off. They're not feeling too confident about this. It was taking a bit too long.
They need to be a little careful. I mean, VP themselves with Avenge, they could certainly look to try and finish it off. I mean, if they had the Serpent Wards, they would have been able to snag it really quick.
Priorities, come on.
Absolutely. They're like, where's your wards gone, mate? He's like, I don't know, use them in the fight down bottom.
Uh-oh, guys, didn't mean to use those. You know, they actually removed the splash from the wards now, so it's not
Oh, did they remove the splash?
Yeah, they added like 10 more damage at level 1, but there's no splash now.
Okay.
Which feels awful.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, how does that work? How does the maths work out? Is it less damage?
Well, it's more damage on one target.
Yeah,
right,
okay.
But...
Yeah.
All right, EPG back in the pit here, and it looks like there's nothing. VP, well, they're actually closing in.
They are closing in again, but Gogi's already there with the charge. They'll actually zip it. Oh, they got the instant stun there. And no one has to just get himself straight back out. So it'll be unsuccessful there from the side of VP as Elements get themselves Roche and get the Aegis onto Ping.
Shaker almost got the ulti off there on the Storm Spirit.
Oh, he's whiffed it again.
Oh, sorry, I mean Spirit Breaker, the other cow.
I was going to say, yeah, Shaker. I was like, he's done it again. He's missed another pass. Nah, he's still waiting for us to come back. But on the plus, VP, they've got a bit of space for Ramses. He is certainly catching up with that Midas, as we can see now, less than 1,000 behind. But still, overall, 18 minutes in. And it's good news for Elements. They get the Roche, they get the Aegis, they get a tower. Ping, only 500 gold away from having the Deso on top of the Blink Dagger.
This is go time, though, for EPG. You know, this is like their big power spec, right? They just took Roshan. He's about to pick up the Blink Desolator. She can blink in, try to create some space. Stark can find these heroes out in the back line.
I mean, it's certainly, I think in previous games, that is the weakness of Elements sometimes. They do get this good start, but then they don't quite know what to do with it, and the other team's normally very good at kind of playing around it, extending the game, and before you know it, Ramses has 2 items more than Swift Ending. So it's certainly a worry.
This Morphling farm speed is definitely a problem right now.
It really is. Yeah, Ramses is already starting to make waves, quite literally, and yeah, now he's on par with the slot. And that was a big gap closer, because he was about 2.5k behind a few minutes ago. So you really got to keep your eye on Ramses this game.
This is a 3-man gank on the Storm Spirit to kind of watch him just zip away. Not great.
Definitely one of the weaknesses. We saw them manage to chain stun him up, but it's certainly with a bit of luck, bit of fortune. They need the bashes. They need to find the familiar stuns. It's a hard one to coordinate. Nice big H stack there for them. Bottom lane, here we go with the vacuum and the bash. Again, not quite enough. Ramses is out of mana. And
Stark's
Swift, yeah,
here, though.
this could be a beautiful kill for Swift. He's coming in. He knows there's no mana. Ramses, very unlikely to get away. He'll pop the one charges. He's trying to morph, but it's not enough. Elements get themselves the absolute kill that they needed there. They needed to find Ramses, and they did.
Yeah, definitely. They have a really, really hard time taking these cores out of the lane, but Tier's in some trouble here.
Yeah, VP trying to hit back. They've found no one. They've got the shackles onto refraction. Yeah, I've got the Visage trying to help out. He just will be popped. LeBron's got to be careful. In fact, with the Soul Assumption, the Familiars, he actually finds himself a kill in return. Takes down the Shadow Shaman. They have got the chain stun, and they will punish the Visage in return. But now no one.
So
very low on mana.
TA.
Jump forward from Ping Vinchek. He's going to look to chase it down, and Storm has to kill himself. So again, yeah, you lose your Visage, but look at the top. The Storm, the Morph, and the Shaman all off the map. 9 for 5, and Elements continuing to maintain a lead here.
The net worth really doesn't reflect like how this game's going at all. You know, that was a 3-for-1 team fight with Stormspirit having to lose a bunch of Bloodstone charges, and the fight's not even close. You know, they got the Aegis, and that's about it.
And now Swift ending with that S and Y complete. Certainly, it doesn't matter if you're getting the chain lockdown upon him. The question is, are you actually going to have damage to you know, dispatch of him before he's able to play around it with the Shadow Dance? He's, you know, they are hitting this peak, and as you said, they've got to utilize it. And so far, so good for Elements. They've been finding the turnarounds. They've been finding the fights that favored them. And again, interesting build from this slug. So Swift Ending, you know, he is a bit of an expert. He's you know, not to question him. He certainly knows what's best. He's going to be queuing up the Diffusal Blade next. I mean, on paper, technically, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? A lot of damage, good stats for the slot. Let's go. And great against Ramses.
That's true.
Yeah.
Burning Morphling's mana, a very good way to help deal with them, but it's good for kind of helping catch out these heroes in fights, right? They get purged, heroes like Vengeful Spirit, Earthshaker, Shadow Shaman as well. They're kind of dead if they just get purged in these team fights. But I worry for EPG. They have a good start, and they're strong right now, but it feels like it takes them way too much commitment to get these heroes off the lanes. Storm Spirit free farms these lanes, Morphling pushes them out really far, and EPG, they're just kind of looking for these kills.
Oh, they come in the rotation again. No holding back. Solo just drops the walls down straight away. Swift, Denning, and Mitch looking for the turnaround. They get the vacuum wall onto 2. The charge coming through as well beautifully. Ping jumps in. Pasha will prop the Echo here. Only catches out on 1. They go lead in with the shackles. They do manage to take down the Slark as well. No one zipping forward onto Mitch, but he's low on mana. In fact, they'll jump in. And Ping, with the burst damage from the Deso, takes down Ping Vinchek, but it still looks like it's going all good for VP. They managed to get the Hex onto the TA, take him down as well. So this time, VP with the superior fight. They lose the Storm, but they take down 3. A very good gold swing for them, and they're ready to put some pressure onto a Tier 2 tower as well. So exactly what was needed there, and impressive that VP could still take that, as that was them walking up to a shrine, initiating onto a support, and EPG turning it around. But the control was just there from VP's lineup.
They kind of just walked in there and claimed that territory. You know, it's theirs to take.
Oh, and look at this as well. I mean, this Shape Pasha's having a great game, isn't he? What, Blink, and now he's got the Shadow Blade complete.
Yeah, that Shadow Blade really helps him in these team fights, maneuver and keep safe against the Slark.
I like that as well. Do you like that? The value Blightstone on the Shaker.
Yeah.
That's not something that I feel like you see a lot, but add that extra little bit of minor, you know, minus armor when you're slapping them with your totem.
Yeah, when he's hitting for 500, that sure helps a lot. Man, this is tough, though. Morphling, Storm Spirit now, they're getting really high up there on the farm. These are heroes that are complete monsters in the late game, and Templar Assassin, not the best skilling hero against these tanky heroes. She's good at killing the support heroes and squishy carries, but she does not want these really long fights.
No, absolutely not. And we did see that even when they killed no one, it still takes a lot. Very elusive in these fights. It's Blink Dagger now for Darkseer, so Elements have an extra bit of setup, bit of catch. The top lane VP find themselves the Tier 1. As you mentioned, Ramses continuing to farm an absolute treat, very close to hitting his level 18. Same for Ping. And Swift started to slow down a little bit after that last being caught out. We saw him queue up the Diffusal Blade a few minutes ago, but yet to really be able to make progress on that. As sort of expected, Ramses starting to take the lead in value. We'll now see a bit of a go onto him, but immediately out to the replica. He's A-OK.
I can't imagine that he's going to finish that Diffusal Blade at this rate.
Yeah.
You know, Storm Spirit's almost at that Orchid right now. Shadow Blade on the Shaker makes it really hard for him to fight. But they do need damage, that's for sure.
Yeah, they do. And interesting enough, on the Visage for Elements, the build that you suggested yourself, what does he buy? He just goes for the Casual Medallion, doesn't upgrade it now.
Okay.
Gets down to the changes, gets himself an Atos.
All right, looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Quite
Extra
useful.
bit of catch.
Especially against that Storm Spirit if you can actually land the Atos. But even though they lost that last fight, they still should try to take these engagements. Uh-oh,
yeah,
mid
they
lane.
need to do something about this in the mid lane. VP making moves again, so they just trust the ward. They do get in a nice vacuum wall there. In fact, on the Familiar Stones as well. Catching 4. Pasha will drop the Echo again. It doesn't seem to catch much at all, but it doesn't matter on the sidelines. Ramses and no one beat down upon the two of them. TA and Spirit Breaker out of the fight. And now they'll look to move in for more. They'll get the swap back onto LeBron. And with the damage from Ramses, they'll pummel down a third. VP, once again, kicking off the fights and making it very hard for Elements to react, even with what seemed like a beautiful vacuum combo. They just didn't have the AoE damage to follow through. I mean, they can get the TA in and hope for some good side blades, but that's kind of about it at this stage. The grouping up of heroes doesn't really benefit that many of EPG's heroes.
Yeah, they have like this big vacuum, but they comboed it up with the bird stuns, and then that's about it, right? They just don't damage after that.
You could hit them all with a Dark Pact or something, but there's nothing that really kind of rebels off the back of it.
I feel like if they had one big AoE spell, you know, anything on top of that,
then it would have
been
different.
fantastic.
I mean, say they had the Shaker, it would have been GG. Landing an Echo Slam onto that. But not the case, and VP continue to build back this lead.
Yep. Even though they did lose that fight, though, it didn't start on their terms, right? That was no one on the Storm Spirit jumping in there, grabbing ping, just like this right now.
I mean, as expected, with that Orchid out, Pain is certainly going to start to be delivered. He's a little low on mana. Swift ending, he's looking. In fact, no one's very low on mana. But Swift, he's scared, Swift. He doesn't want to go for it, even though he sees the mana's gone.
Yeah, it's definitely still a really hard kill to get.
Yeah.
But if they can manage to actually start a fight on their own terms where they can jump these heroes in the back lines.
You think there's a chance?
Perhaps. You know, they can get like the Spirit Breaker charged through the vacuum on top of the bird jump with some side blade action going on. Maybe it'll be better. But it's hard to say because Morphling and Storm Spirit right now, they're just so tanky. So hard to bring down.
And more money into the pocket of Ramses and the team as they take that tower. 27 minutes in Midas, Eblay Lincolns. It's only going to get better and better for Ramses.
We've got the economy build here on Solo, double bracer, and the plate mail here.
Damn. That's
he wants to live.
That's a tanky little shaman.
Yeah.
Well, 1600 HP, and walking around with 18 armor. It's, you know, we talked about it. We were like, Solo, he's the guy to watch out for, and the one that Slark's going to be sniffing out. But Solo's, he's itemized especially for that. And he says, you can come at me, but you're not going to be able to kill him within a few seconds.
Yeah, trying to kill him looks like quite a distant dream at this point of the game.
Like, it's one of those heroes that before you would have known with a Shadow Blade you can kill without having to commit the Shadow Dance, but now you pretty much have to use the Shadow Dance because he's going to be able to go around that Dark Pact and get some sort of a disable off before you die.
Yep, Pasha pumping his team up with the applause there. That's morale right there.
Yeah, it is. These sound bites pay to win. Certainly is if you've got them for the team. Still yet to hear an It's a Disaster. I know you have to like that level 300 or such for that.
Oh, I'm a big fan of the WoW.
The WoW. The WoW is a good one. I like the Chinese ones. You know, one of those like an RTK quote, isn't it? Like a Jiao Yu or I don't know Chinese.
I was looking up the translations for those and
they're pretty intense, aren't they?
They're just too advanced for me to understand. These Chinese memes are...
This was when FY committed this massive, you know, checkmate and maneuvered himself across the river and
yeah, like a giant paragraph for like a 5-character line, and I couldn't get behind it.
It's like AA's Ice Blast description. It is pretty intense. Oh, ping. Oh, okay. Pasha again, setting up with the Echoes out. My good
damage.
Lord, what was that? Just with the Solar Crest from Lil and then the Enchant Totem just absolutely disassembled the TA.
That's pretty scary when your Shaker can pretty much two-shot your Templar Assassin.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And I think it's, as you said, the power of Lil's, you know, the support Venge. Wave of Terror and Solar Crest, that is still a hell of a lot of physical damage setup with that armor reduction.
Yeah, the tankier these heroes on VP get to, the harder it gets for cores like Slark and Templar Assassin. Templar Assassin tries to play off the burst, but once she kind of can't 2- or 3-shot these heroes, she really falls off in these team fights.
And I think it really is worrying that with 30 minutes in, Ramses is where he is in comparison to Swift Ending. And Swift Ending on the Slark, you got to ask yourself, what has he done with that Shadow Blade? And it's the answer's nothing, really.
Definitely
He's
not
just
enough
not
at all.
found anything to do.
And this is hard. I mean, what can they do to really threaten this Morphling at all? They don't have any outspam at all. Literally 0 nukes. Stark can hit him a couple times, then back off, but Ramses is just going to walk back up to the hill next to the wards. They pop the Solar Crest on, and he just takes no damage at all.
Gogi, all set up with the Nether Strike. Ramses just E-blades himself, and out he goes.
It's looking like Shrine time here.
I see Mitch get again a lovely 3-man vacuum wall combo. They'll drop the familiars. They are bringing VP down low. Gogi comes across with the charge. Will manage to take down Lil. The rest of VP now in retreat. But Elements, they need more than just 1 kill. Up to the high ground, Pasha goes. And in fact, he's going to make it. They don't have vision up there, so he's good to go. The trap comes too late. And again, it's you got to give credit to this Darkseid. You know, he's going ham with these combos, but it's just not resulting in anything good for Elements. They get 1 kill. That's not enough when you're starting to lose the game like this.
Yeah, sometimes drafts kind of play around the Ion Shell instead of the vacuum. This game, there's not a whole lot of vacuum follow-up.
Well, there we go. No one being charged upon. Gets himself away. Ping. Look to chase this. No one fairly low on the mana.
Well, gets the slow off, but...
He does have... He's got cheese. He's fine. He's got the cheese. He's got the cheese. Eat the cheese, mate. Cheese. Cheese. Have it. There we go. A bit of a last-minute nibble at the cheese. And meanwhile, bottom lane, you're losing tier 3. Ramses is in. Will be jumped upon by Swift Ending. Quick raid for him to get himself out. Looking to see if they can chase this down.
Oh, there's the Diffusal Blade.
They've got a chance here. Yeah, vacuum him back, and with the Nether Strike, they'll find it. So they will manage to punish Ramses. Mid lane, LeBron has been left alone, though. And the Familiars and the Visage will fall. So along with the TA, that is 2 of them down. So again, Elements, they find something, but it's at this stage VP finding the better trades.
Yeah, even with Morphling going down there, they did take the tier 3, got Storm Spirit some kills. Still pretty VP favored here.
Yeah, and it's, as we're seeing again, that graph pretty much tells the story. You know, Elements are a team, they have the mechanical skill, they can hold themselves in the lanes, but there just becomes a point in the game where it feels like they've not been able to be as active as they would have wanted to with Swift Ending. They've not really been able to slow down the 2 cores as much as needed, and VP are just scaling much better. No one will be charged upon. It's be a big kill if they can get it. With the Familiars, they've got a good chance to bring them down low. The Vacuum and the Bash, they'll do it. They'll pop the Aegis. Whether they can kill him a second time is another question, and yeah, unlikely to do so. No one's already out of there, and will be a-okay.
Well, they have shown that they do have the power to bring down the Storm Spirit if they can get the chains enough, but of course that's also without the assistance of Vengeful Spirit Swap, Solar Crest, Mech, all these items to help them. But, you know, VP, they're in no rush to end this game. Their heroes outscale extremely hard. And, you know, Elements Pro Gaming, they looked pretty good in that mid-game, especially around the time when they got that first Roshan.
Yeah.
Perhaps next Roshan could be quite a big timing for them when it comes up.
Yeah, that certainly could be the next point that they're looking to hold out for at least and try and prolong this game until. But as you mentioned, VP are in no rush whatsoever. Ramses well on his way for the Skadi, about halfway through it. And it's just as you said, you know, you look at the difference between the position 1 and position 2 of the 2 teams, and you ask yourself, how are Elements going to be able to just close that gap? They need a team wipe. They need to team wipe VP. They need to do something pretty drastic at this stage to get themselves back on top.
Yeah, they're like, with their kind of lineup, they pretty much need to play the game with a gold lead.
Yeah.
Right? Heroes like Slark, TA, they play from ahead pretty much all the time. And once the game's net worth starts to even out, that's when you can kind of feel them falling off a little bit. Slark, not the highest damage hero. Very good at killing the supports, but the supports on VP are so fat right now. Vengeful Spirit, this guy's not dying at all. Same thing with Solo One and Shadow Shaman, super tanky. And it just feels like they just didn't get enough done once they had their items, right? But it's not like they weren't making the moves, it's just Morphlings all the way pushing this lane, and on the other side, they have Storm Spirits pushing this one. Who do they go for? And at the same time, VP, they're not just sitting back, they're still making moves as well.
And they could be ready to make another move onto the high ground. Solo's just picked up a Lotus Orb, so something else that you can throw down onto whoever wants to frontline. Ramses potentially at the moment. They've got the Solar Crest buff from Lil, the Lotus Orb from Solo, and he'll get in. Drop the wards. They will go onto him, but he did kind of get his job already done, dropping down the Serpents. No one zips forward. They'll look to burst down the Visage with the E-Blade. Pasha, again, trying to throw in the Echo Slam. Only catches out the TA, but it may be enough. They're holding back Ping Vincheck. And they've already taken down 2 here, VP. They'll clean up a 3rd. And there'll be a buyback from Swift Ending, but the other 2 do not have buyback available. Elements trying to do their best to force VP back out of the base here. They'll go in onto Ramses, but again, he's able to replicate out. He'll be safe. Lil is just committing for this one. It may cost him his life. The Fisher doing work here as it forces Swift Ending to go around. Lil won't get out, though. It will get taken down. They actually do manage to get the Orchid out onto the Slug, though, around the Dark Pack. Swift Ending, can they bring him down? No, the Shrine, it will save him. Elements now with the charge and the turnaround onto no one. He is out of mana, and they will be able to bring down the Storm. No, he gets the deny. He will deny himself.
Such a fat streak.
Oh, yeah, that would have been a lot of money for Swift if they could have claimed it. So at the end of the day, VP lose lives, but they get the objective done. And Elements, they are having to commit that buyback on the Slark. So continuing to really hold Swift Ending back in this game.
Yeah, still not the worst hold, though. They did get a lot of kills on VP, so some of their heroes got some gold. Not really Slark, he did have to buy back there, but he actually kind of broke even after that, which isn't bad. But, man, it's really tough. That Shrine,
it's so tough.
That Shrine pretty much saved him from dying back there. That would have been disgusting.
That would have been game over, potentially, if that didn't keep him alive, well, off the back of that potential dieback.
But you saw the way they took that fight. They jumped the Shadow Shaman as soon as he walked up the hill. It was probably their best chance they had at taking that fight, because if they walk up and set up, then they have no one to go on besides that Morphling. But they've realized, hey, we've just got to go, can't hesitate, need to try something, or we're just going to lose if we let them walk up.
Checking out Roshan as well there, Ramses. Knows that it's going to be up very soon. And will be. Just a matter of seconds now by the looks of it. We'll see which team catches wind of it. Both teams with good potential of taking it down very quickly. But at the same time, both teams with good ways to fight around it and try and knock the other one outside of the pit.
Yep, this game is actually at a 11K net worth lead, but it's pretty much only in the cores. Like the supports for Elements.Pro Gaming, they're still very farmed. Like Visage has items, even Spirit Breaker has 9,000 net worth. It's not bad at all. In the last fight, he that was his 10-second BKB, and it did quite a bit in that team fight.
Yeah, I mean for sure what BKBs on Elements heroes are massive this game. And certainly something that could help make a difference for the TA when she turns up. So, you know, suddenly your refraction charges are going to be doing a lot more. No way to quickly break through them, burn them down.
Yep, and there's a DD picked up on TA's bottle as well. Perhaps they can use that.
Yeah, this would be a great time for them to find some sort of fight. Ramses coming in with the poke onto Swift Ending. They're going to try and wrap around upon him. We'll see if they have enough catch. He does have a replica out, and Ramses may just instantly get out of there, and he does. As soon as he realizes something up, he'll escape. And VP actually heading into the pit. And with that movement, in fact, Ramses drawing the attention of Elements down towards the bottom lane, it looks like Elements aren't going to be able to get themselves quickly enough across the map to contest this. So there'll be another free roach for VP. Once again, picking up that Aegis and Cheeks.
Yep, Storm Spirit, one of the best Aegis carriers, comes back with full mana, full health to destroy the team fight yet again.
I mean, what do you think about that? That's actually a change that I feel I've not really heard talked about too much. They had it last time, of course, because you get cheese now in the second Roche. That's a pretty big buff to Roshan, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
For these Roche lineups.
There's a couple changes that kind of help end the game early, right? There's less shrines in your base to defend, but PG's taking the move already.
Yeah, Gogi just pops the BKB, looks to make a beeline straight onto Pasha, trying to eliminate the easy heroes. They'll get it. Swift Ending getting the Shadow Dance off in time. Ramses zipping across. I can see no one. Go back on Swift Ending. Gets the Daft Pack Duff, but still no one with cheese to play with. They'll look to chase onto Lil. Lil gets himself just far enough away from Ping Vincheck, and again, the physical damage there once those refraction charges are gone. That TA gets ripped to pieces. It felt like 2 hits, and the TA was gone.
Shaker's the real burst hero now, not TA.
This man with his Enchant Totem and Blightstone and the minus armor that Lil chucks out, it's absolutely ridiculous.
That's actually an insane amount of damage for your offlane Shaker. He just hits someone for like 1,000 damage off that.
It literally is. He's got about, what, 600, and then, the reduction certainly amps it up to that. Oh, no, vacuum onto 3, but Pasha this time he's in there nice and deep with the slam. Forward stead on 8 Elements. It is going to be a team wipe. VP clean up house. They'll knock down the racks, and it will be finally GG as VP take the game. Again, pretty much a similar sentiment that I feel that we see in a lot of Elements games. There's definitely good things about this team. There's things that they can do, but at the end of the day, they just struggle really to have the cohesion of a team as polished as VP.
Yeah, VP definitely realized they're, you know, EPG, they're really strong right now. You know, they just got Roshan, but we see No One and Ramses on opposite sides of the map, split pushing, and it takes them 3 or 4 heroes to break them down every time, and then they just get more out of it.
They do. Yeah, it was exactly that. I mean, the laning stage, great, but as soon as any sort of movements came around, you know, Ramses was catching up in farm, they were getting objectives, and very little they could do, and it's a little bit of an awkward start after the laning stage for the Slark. He got the Shadow Blade, sticks around in lane for a little bit, starts to move around with half an S and Y, and they've got the wards out, and at that point it's pretty much impossible for him to find any sort of kill. He didn't find a single pick-off, I don't think, with the Shadow Blade.
It was so odd, right? Like, he just didn't go into that bottom lane, play with the Darkster with the Ion Shell, and just kind of, you know, kill anyone who was there. No. It was, I don't know, maybe he felt like he couldn't kill the Morphling, really, but even just showing there will secure that tower, so I don't feel like that's a bad play at all. But
well, we'll see, a few awkward plays from them, you know, Elements ending up costing them the game. VP take a confident win at the end of the day. Ramses and No One just we saw ramping up the value and getting themselves miles ahead of the cause over on the side of Elements. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back very shortly for Game 2 after a short ad break. We'll see you shortly.